It's the arrival. I came in the league, went straight for the title. No time to idle. I'm finna get it, put that on the Bible. This is survival. Gotta treat every move made like the final. One by a mile. Nobody believe it, they all in denial. Hey, look at me, look at me. Still in the show, that's the crook in me. They want me gone with the hook in me. Asking why is he here like I shouldn't be. I've been on grind since Auto. 10,000 hours the motto. They see the bag is coming out and flocking to me like I won the lotto. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Get it, don't mindset. Ay, back with a vengeance, back on the grinds, back to the business. Ay, God is my witness, they watching my moves like shows they binging. Ay, best keep distance, all of my haters send best of wishes. I get to the bag with the quickness, no I don't need no assistance, no. Yeah, no playing it safe, I said let's get it, you say not today. What can I say, you ain't gon' go for it, get out the way. Got no time to waste. Can't be with me if you're not at my pace. You're not at my level, you're not in my race. One foot on the gas, I'm pushing the brakes. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Yeah. Get it, don't mindset. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta get it, don't mindset. I gotta get it, don't mindset. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Back again, same scenario. Win, 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 win. 4-6, we like 10 and 0. I should probably tell them something that they didn't know. Back then we was down with nowhere to go. Might have been down, but we didn't fall. Now we running it like some intervals. Ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who? Us now. What you gon' do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when I come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who? Us now. What you gon' do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Ooh, shut down. Ooh, give me that crown. I need that now, right now. Ooh, don't make a sound. This is my time. You hear the crowd. We need that rain. Me and my team. Deja vu. This here a dream. We done all seen 100 times over back when we was just teens. Now we going dumb. Told them we the one. They would count us out. Now we counting up the funds. Now without a doubt, they be throwing up the ones. Like they was always rapping. I believe them if you won. Now they show love. Came with a dub. It is what it is. It isn't what it was. They all love to hate when it don't work out. Tell you that they always been down when it does. Look. Say, ooh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who? Us now. What you gon' do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who? Us now. What you gon' do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Ooh, shut down. Time. We on a conquest. Came a long way. Look at the progress. I see no competition. It ain't no contest. You ain't in discussion. not even a prospect. Yeah, you better go and get to meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Might as well call the league up, tell them put the trophy on reservation. Been going up, that's elevation. No holding back, no preservation. Treat off season like postseason, no days off, this dedication.
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, no holding back, no preservation, no off days, this dedication. Game time, get out the way, we coming through. Check the hang time, been on top, ain't nothing new. A lot of talk, whole lot of noise, but ain't cutting through. Word on roll, you got a couple L's, you'll have another soon, don't sweat. Whole lot of sacrifice, no regrets. Whole lot of dubs, but ain't done yet. Say you the one, but ain't one yet. Running the game, ain't take one step. Hold up. Yeah, all emotions aside. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line?
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line? Came for the dirt, but it ain't no shame. Had to put the work in, grind day by day. All the blood, sweat, tears, no pain, no gain. I was ready for the moment and it came my way. Where the spotlight shine, where they say my name. It's the life I chose, the price I paid. A lot of sacrifices every day I prayed. Hope it all pays off in the end. I'll play, I wanna win. Seen a lot of things, ain't been the same since. Worked too hard for this, yeah, I'm convinced. Been on the brink, yeah, been on the fence. Now I'm this close to the win. When the chance came, now I didn't turn back. Loyal to the city, put the team on the map. Put up to the floor, start running up stats. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line?
I gotta get it, I'm on the mission, snap any minute, casually when it stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me, yeah, I got a dream, can't take it from me, my fire's burning, now I'm always learning, tell me where to go, man, I'm on a journey, yeah, I can't explain it, I get excited, keep it 300, King Leonidas, strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride, working on me every single day and night, there comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have the spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level.
If I'm in the game, I'ma be the best, nothing less. Come on.
The beautiful beautiful city of Los Angeles. This is the city for the next 18 weeks, and then we get the playoffs as well, that every single Tuesday night, you're going to see your favorite players from the NFL and some of your favorite content creators going head-to-head right here in the We Play Esports Arena. My name is Rich, and I am joined by Aaron Ashley Simon to actually kick off all of the action for the first ever NFL Tuesday Night Gaming Show.
Absolutely. We're so used to seeing the NFL players compete on the field, but now they're going to be competing on a digital field with some of your favorite content creators.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it as well because some of the content creators, they have pretty big personas themselves, so I'm excited to see how everybody is actually going to mesh, and I'm excited to see some of the early teams as well, and we get to see a whole bunch of different games. It's not like they're just going to be coming out playing one game. Every single week, we're going to get a look at some Rocket League, some Madden, and some Fortnite.
Yes, and Tuesdays are officially the day for not only NFL, but gaming. So let's dive on in and explain a little bit more of what everyone will expect to see for today and the future series.
Yeah, let's actually check out what everybody is going to be doing and also get to check out some of the faces as well. So you can actually see some of the organizations that you might know if you do watch any gaming content, and some new names as well. Each of these teams, we're going to have 3 players total. One of them is going to be a content creator in the gaming space, and 2 NFL players. So I know that maybe we shouldn't be as friendly right now because I see both of our organizations actually going head-to-head.
I know, at some point we're going to have to compete. Now, going through the teams, you got Incognito, and right below them is the Rain, and then, as Rich was saying, OTK and XSET. We're going to be friendly for now, but when we compete, we may not be able to talk to each other. And then lastly, we have Complexity and Sudden Threat.
I'll be 100% real. OTK is not an organization to worry about today because we have sent Mizkif, the worst gamer in the entire org. But they are going to be playing, as we said a little bit earlier, 3 different games. So he and everybody will have a chance to get into their groove a little bit and maybe actually play a game that they specialize in. They're going to be accruing points through every single week, and those points will give them a shot at going to the playoffs. So we're actually going to see, different people rotating in every week. So when you actually do get to the playoffs, there's probably going to be a little bit of a dynamic of who they actually want to send, and you're getting the first look at what our playoff bracket will actually look like as well.
Yes, and with each Tuesday, they're going to be building up points, and those points are going to help them later at the end of this series season. They'll have the playoffs. We're going to really see who is the champion of NFL Tuesday Night Gaming. Yeah,
there's going to be a whole bunch of action that you don't want to miss, and you also don't want to miss any NFL action. Lucky for you, NFL Plus is here, which means no matter where you are, this is how you football. You can get live, local, and primetime regular season and postseason games on your phone, your tablet, game replays, and much, much more. So be sure to check it out at plus.nfl.com, and you can start your free trial of NFL Plus today. And speaking of today, we're going to be starting off our show here today as well, and we can actually start to look at who's going to be playing against who.
Yeah, let's take a look at the schedule for today's competition. As you can see, starting out, the XSET OTK match will be later on because today we have XSET versus Complexity. And then following up, we got OTK versus Sudden Threat. And then lastly, Incognito versus the Rain.
That is lucky for Sudden Threat. Hopefully the NFL players that are going to be on OTK today can carry Mizkif. I mean, he's pretty used to getting carried by now, so he should fall in line pretty quickly. But let's talk about your team. Let's talk about XSET. Who's representing you guys today?
All right, so for XSET, we got Ronnie2k. For those of you who may not know him, he's most known for his role as an ambassador of basketball gaming. Fun fact, law and economics degree. That shows you, listen, you can game and be smart as well. And then up next, we have Andre Reed, who's a Hall of Famer, 7-time Pro Bowler during 16 NFL seasons, primarily with the Buffalo Bills. And then lastly, Jonathan Stewart, longtime Carolina Panthers running back, retired Pro Bowl running back, and has the record for the most rushing yards in Panther history. Also, real estate mogul and accomplished musicians. Let's see if this music skills can come to the test for the competition today.
We will see. I think that's going to be one of the things that's really interesting as well. When we actually do get all the players up on the stage and we start to see how the teams actually fit together, and also we get to hear which games they're the best at. It might not be the same for every single team. Just because you're good at one game doesn't mean you're going to snap into Fortnite, for example. But talk to me about Complexity a little bit as well.
All right, so with Complexity, we have luckychamu's coming up, part of the Baca Bros. We got Melvin Gordon III, 2-time Pro Bowl running back, and then also Leonard Fournette, starting running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Super Bowl champion, as well as I heard he's a really, really big gamer. We got a few NFL players who are massive gamers here, so that, the teams may need to lean on them heavily.
Yeah, and we'll find out from them as well. We're going to have people in the studio, also some people competing online, so we will have an opportunity to actually ask, what games are you playing? What is your specialty? And actually see where they are comfortable. But that's not all we're seeing tonight. As you already did see in the schedule, we're going to have 3 matchups. Each of those matchups is going to include all 3 of the games as well. So basically, you start with Rocket League, then after that, you go to Madden, which is actually going to be 1v1, and then from there, we round it out with Fortnite. Now, 2 of my very good friends going to be playing against each other for OTK and Sudden Threat. Now, Susu, I will say, is a much better gamer than Mizkif in general. So that does not bode well for OTK.
So what you're saying is OTK got to watch out.
I play a lot of Magic the Gathering with Susu, and she's an absolute beast. So that does not bode well for OTK. But let's actually talk about some of the NFL players that will be on those teams as well, and actually see, what we expect to happen. I think Rocket League, by the way, just to slightly go on a tangent, I think Rocket League is going to be the surprise game every single time.
Really?
I think Rocket League it looks like the most unassuming game, but it is by far the hardest game to ever be created. I don't even understand how a human being could come up with a game like Rocket League. The angles that you have to hit to be a great player, it's a very difficult game.
Yeah, I mean, the aerodynamics that come with it, you think that it's just a simple, okay, I'm gonna move my car, I'm gonna hit the ball into the goal. Like, no, it's like the specific angle you have to hit just to hit the side of the ball just against the corner. It's not that easy at all.
Yeah, I've actually played Rocket League against a few of the people who are playing today, and they're not very good at it. So Fortnite's gonna have to be where they pop back into it. But yeah, no, Rocket League was the first game I ever commentated.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably like 6 years ago now. And just seeing how much that scene has grown has been a really exciting thing.
Absolutely. And going over some of the players are going to be on OTK, as well as the other team is Dion, Dawkins, Brian, Orakpo, and we have Xavier, McKinney, and Desean Jackson. So we're going to see who from that team is going to step up to the test when it comes to Rocket League, Madden, and Fortnite tonight.
Yes, but, I could talk about it all night long because I'm very excited for it, but we don't have to wait much longer. We are ready to kick off the first series of the night in a few minutes here and actually see those players go head-to-head.
Absolutely. It's going to be super exciting. What can we expect, right? I feel like with these video games, specific titles, anything can go.
Yeah, I think with, like I said, Rocket League's just going to be the game that's going to throw stuff out of whack. Luckily, it's first, so you kind of get that momentum. In Madden, you have a lot of control because when we do get to the Madden games, they're going to be sending 1 representative. And when you have 3 people on your squad, you assume one of them's going to have some skill with Madden, right? So you can figure out whoever the best is, actually talk amongst your team, send them in there, have them go. Once you get to Fortnite, you're going to need to start working as a team more than anything else. I mean, Rocket League, figure out how to use the sticks in a way that actually allows you to move.
Yes.
And then when you actually get into Madden, send your best player. Fortnite, try to work together as a team.
Yeah, and another thing too with Fortnite we have to mention, it is 0 build mode. So as usual, you can't build houses around you to protect you. It's gonna be a different kind of style of gameplay. So for those who may have played Fortnite before and have had the build, now it's more about your shooting and accuracy.
Yeah, it's changed a whole bunch. I was really good at cranking 90s, and now I have to be good at actually aiming, and that's never been my strong suit, but I feel like a lot of the people here, it will be. We can compare some of the players right now and actually look at what gaming backgrounds they come from and try to see what games they will be the strongest at. So these are the 2 gamers that are going head-to-head the first time around. So let's talk about some of the games they play. Obviously, with Ronnie, you expect maybe Madden might be the area where he could potentially excel, but let's talk a little bit about luckychamu.
Yeah, I know Ronnie's really good at sports games, but I feel like an NFL player would probably be the best at that because there's just certain intricacies about playing the sport that you can really apply to the game because they've been really trying to make the game feel just like how it is playing on the field. So I would actually lean more towards getting one of the NFL players to play Madden.
I think that is a very reasonable thing, and I also think for a lot of the teams that is going to be the strategy. Like, for example, it's easy for me to look at OTK because I know some of the people that, we're potentially sending every time. S-Fan, great Madden player. Everybody else on OTK, we are definitely going to be leaning very hard on the NFL to be sending some people to play for us because we have absolutely no skill in the game outside of S-Fan. But let's talk about the other side. Let's talk about complexity. Where do you think we're going to see some of the strengths coming in from Lucky?
Well, I know Lucky's really good at Warzone and first-person shooter, so maybe I could see the strengths happening in Fortnite. I'm not sure about Rocket League. Rocket League is probably going to be the game that we're going to see, like, who can really play and who is, it may be struggling, because it's not like a game you can easily just pick up like a first-person shooter or even like a Madden game, just go.
Rocket League is one of those games, too, though, where you just have somebody pick up the sticks for the first time, and they have one incredible game in the tank, and then they're never able to do it again for like another year. So I'm curious if we see somebody just pick up Rocket League who's not used to it, and they come out, they manage to get that first win. It does a lot to secure your team big points.
But I would say we cannot be surprised. There actually are some players in the NFL League who play Rocket League and are actually signed to other orgs for Rocket League.
Yeah.
So we actually may be surprised. There may be some of the players who are actually really good at the game.
That's one of those things, too, that's been happening more and more in gaming that, not everybody's probably super familiar with, but a lot of the big esports orgs, you can even talk about complexity.
Yeah.
I mean, they are involved in sports as well. So there's even a chance that some of the players, some of the people who are streamers or YouTube creators, they're going to actually have a chance to maybe meet their teammates before they get here, which helps a lot. I think that's a big deal, especially in a game like Fortnite.
It does. But I have to say, for XSET, I have a little more knowledge on that front. I know, yes, I know that a lot of people who are friends of the org or the creators that we have a part of the org, they're very versatile. We do have a lot of players who, like I said, are more so towards first-person shooters, but they also have other games that they want to pick up, they want to try. I wouldn't be surprised if they watch this stream and they're like, okay, now I gotta go practice this game. Because, creators are just as competitive as NFL players and pro players.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at as well. I can talk about my org a little bit. We don't have any specialties. We don't have any strengths. The biggest problem is going to be actually learning how to turn on the game, because at this point, they just watch other people play games. So if for any reason they have to react to somebody else playing, maybe when we actually get to Madden, maybe Miz can just react to the gameplay. That might be what happens there.
But you never know. They may pick it up and they may be pretty solid at it, or they might have, one of the games I might have been practicing, very much like Nickmercs on another team. I know he's been playing a lot of Apex and playing some other titles, and I know at first people were probably a little bit surprised to see him, but he's been doing really well on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to being a gamer, it's like, yeah, you may have your main specialty, but a video game's a video game.
Yeah, I think the thing is the mentality is going to be relatively similar. You'll learn how to pick different things apart. I think one of the most common examples is, somebody who plays a lot of games, the first thing they do when you put the sticks in their hands, they try to jump, they try to sprint. You have that lexicon of knowledge, which definitely does carry over. But if you're going to talk about competition, there's also a lexicon of knowledge there as well. And I think that's a really good time to actually start to talk about some of the players who are going to be here from the NFL. They're obviously no strangers to competition. And also, a lot of them are going to be Hall of Famers as well. So let's start to talk about one of our Hall of Famers who's actually going to be here. I think that this is one of those moments, too, where we start to see whether or not they're going to be able to push some of the streamers into that competitive mindset. Like, how friendly do you think it's going to stay?
You know what? I think that's a really good question, because, even though I didn't play football, I played D1 soccer, and that competitiveness is still in me. Even when people are saying, hey, let's play for fun, I'm like, yeah, but I want to win. Like, it's a fun win. It's fun to win. It's not fun to lose. So I feel like they're going to push a little bit, but the content creators that we're seeing who are going to be playing, I feel like they all have some kind of competitive edge, even if it's like more of a fun and humorous competitive edge, like Aydan. Aydan is very, funny and hilarious and adds a lot of personalities to gameplay, but also is a very competitive player too.
Yeah, and talking about competitive players, I already alluded to it. Let's take a deep dive with Andre Reed.
The first video game I ever played was Pac-Man, probably. That, and I loved Space Invaders and Dig Dug and Donkey Kong. And those were the big, the big monster ones in the arcades. Back then, when those games came out, it's either you went to the park to play football and basketball and all that stuff, and if you happen to have a little money in your pocket from your mom and dad, you go to the arcade and you would play Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, all that stuff. Oh man, I love Space Invaders. Believe it or not, I just was fascinated. When I was in high school, I was fascinated with space and the skies and the moon and stars and what's out there. I still am. I mean, my favorite channel is, you know, the History Channel, because I love history. And it's always just about space and what's out there, because there is something out there. Just want everybody to know there's something other than us in these galaxies. And I was always intrigued with it. So if I didn't become an NFL football player, I wanted to be an astronomer. Probably the first Tecmo Bowl that came out. Old school Tecmo Bowl, because some people come up to me now and go, yeah, man, I played you in Tecmo Bowl back in like 1941. Like, bro, come on, man, really? Tecmo Bowl.